Mayor Chokwe Lumumba speaks out today about the relationship between the city and the state.
This comes after the city filed suit to block the state's efforts for ownership of Smith-Wills Stadium. This is not the only lawsuit the city is part of when it comes to the state. The city's involved in a more than 8-year lawsuit filed by airport officials to block the state takeover of the Jackson Medgar Wiley Evers International Airport. The city is also working to block any future takeover of the water system. Lumumba says one thing that would improve the relationship is to stop taking away the city's resources, calling it an organized effort to take resources from the city of Jackson.
The issues that are strained are not because the city in some way puts itself in a defiant position. It's because these are things critical to our development as a city. As mayor, when you're trying to take a stadium from the city, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to say, yeah, come on in, take a resource from us when you're trying to take our airport? Am I in some way oppositional because I say, listen, let's not do that?
Lumumba says he does not plan to give up city resources in order to improve the city's relationship with the state.
Good news tonight.